Texas Radio Network. Good morning. It is Tuesday, October the 24th. I am Jay St. John, and our telephone number 441-1040. We are a community watchdog group, Laredo Citizens for Good Government, and we watch all the politicians. Everybody that's running for office has to go through this studio before they make it. It is straight up 7 o'clock, and looking at the local news this morning, Webb County officials discuss health plans. What a nightmare. I don't know how these people can afford health insurance. Employees who want to cover for themselves and their spouse now have this option, which is, well, I'll read them off to you. The base plan for just one employee is $79.81. Not bad. Base plan employee and children, $392. Base plan employee and spouse, $464. But it goes all the way up to a buy-up plan, employee and family. Your entire family covered everything, kind of like a Gold Star plan. For a mere $1,221.46 a month, $1,221.46. You're going, wow. All right, my producer, Aaron, says that yesterday our DB level was a little low, so I'm going to scoot it up a little bit. I don't know what's yet, for me, what's comfortable, and where you don't have to turn your volume all the way up on your smartphone, just maybe halfway. So I'm looking at the meters here. They look like they're modulating into the yellow, Aaron. If you'll give me a shout out and let me know how it sounds this morning. Well, I know you will. In other local news, man jailed for punching a Border Patrol agent. And he's already, this happened some time ago. He's already been sentenced. He's been sentenced to 4 years in federal prison. 4 years for punching remember that, word gets around fast. Don't be punching on Customs or Border Patrol agents. It's not a good idea. And I'm just looking at all the stories about sexually abusive men that we have here in Webb County. What is up with that? Now we have a man sexually abusing a relative, a 14-year-old girl. The accuser is 35 years old. And then we have another one in here, man charged with sexual assault, arrested Saturday for allegedly pulling out a knife on a woman and sexually assaulting her behind a store near the old truck stop on Santa Maria. And we have one teen that was picked up for striking a dog with an axe after unlawfully entering a person's property, 19 years old. And Odie from the LMT laid to rest yesterday in the Catholic cemetery. May you rest in peace, brother. A very good writer. I've always enjoyed his writings, and he passed away just the other day at age 82. Once again, our telephone number 441-1040. I am Jay St. John, and you can like us on our Facebook page, Laredo Citizens for Good Government. We now have the Apple app ready for you to download. Just go to the Apple Store, and, of course, we also have the Android app. Just go to the Google Play Store. We are streaming on platforms like Facebook, Laredo Citizens for Good Government, as well as Twitter, as well as YouTube and Periscope. And hopefully one day, not in the near distant future, that we'll be able to stream on about 15 other media platforms is what we're hoping for. Oh, boy. The Alexander, it just always has been a big rivalry And I love volleyball. My daughter was a volleyball player, so she drug me to many a game, and so I kind of fell in love with high school volleyball. But Nixon pushing for second, and LBJ and United South fighting for their playoff lives. But if you've never gone to see a high school volleyball game and a women's volleyball game, and don't think, oh, Jay, I know why you like to go to those. No, it's not. That's not why I like to go. Okay, that sick thought out of your mind. I'm not a pedophile. Somebody wrote that to me the other day. Says, you like to talk about volleyball, don't you? What's up with that, Jay? Girls volleyball, too, at that. Well, you know what? I also like to talk about other sports. Laredo takes top 2 spots at the regional meet in track and field. I like to talk about that, too. I talk about the meet that we have coming up in Corpus Christi. I mean, we have some tremendous athletes here in sports. Women and men. I don't like to just talk about guys' football. And the girls never get recognized for anything. But I'll recognize you. I used to have them come in on my show. And to have you accuse me of something like that is just, it's hurtful. It's really, really hurtful. I like to go to high school women's volleyball games to stare? Is that what you think? My goodness. Well, that's about it. You know, it doesn't really matter for me at this particular point because I'll be honest with you. I don't go to the games anymore, number one. Okay, so forget about that. But I just like to read about them. I like to keep you abreast of how they're doing. And I think it's best that I just shut up. You know what I mean? While I'm ahead. Here's the phone number, 441-1040.
Yeah.
Texas Radio Network. Say Johnny here. So, I was looking at James Rendon was honored by the city council, and a big salute out to you, sir, for your much dedicated service in the United States Marine Corps. Does anybody from Laredo does everybody go into the Marines, or am I the only Navy guy? No, Gabriel Lopez from the Navy, right? So maybe him and I are the only ones, but most young men here from Laredo join the Marines. And they're very proud of it, too, by the way. They display various and many Marine Corps stickers on the back of their vehicles. Our telephone number, 441-1040. So let's see here. Got a call. Good morning. How are you? Good morning. Are you there? All right, the phone number once again, 441-1040. If you call up here, remember you're going to, if you drop the call, you're not going to, well, obviously you're not going to get on the air, but it also is kind of since I don't have a screen caller, it's just a one-man operation. I don't have any way of having a private conversation with anybody as long as I'm here at the booth, if you know what I mean. But where was I? Oh, I was talking about James Rendon. The city of Laredo recognized him during their meeting last week, and I kind of missed it because I didn't start recording until after the break. Anyway, for his distinguished military service as a Marine, and this is a long-awaited hope that I have had for a very long time, for the city of Laredo to recognize people who have served honorably in the United States military, not necessarily Marines. But we have others too that I hope the city of Laredo will recognize: the United States Army, the United States Navy, Air Force, and Coast Guard. It doesn't have to be a Marine every single time, is what I'm seeing here. Thank you. 7:14, and I still see the stories about the congresswoman from South Florida and Donald Trump on the infamous phone call to the widow whose husband was killed in Africa last week. And, of course, the story continues, extended from that. A lot of the family members, this is becoming a kind of a Benghazi-type story. I want to know what happened. So now a big investigation has been launched. A couple of generals have been in front of the microphone yesterday trying to explain what kind of happened as much as they could. The details are still coming in, and we should be hearing about hopefully there'll be some transparency, exactly what happened. But this congresswoman, mission accomplished. You got all the publicity and more that you expected and wanted. But I remember not too long ago, it was all about Benghazi. Do you remember?
I don't care how offensive this video was, and it was terribly offensive, and we should shun it.
This video is disgusting and reprehensible. It appears to have a deeply cynical purpose to denigrate a great religion and to provoke rage.
Let's be clear. These protests were in reaction to a video that had spread to the region.
You had a video that was released by somebody who lives here, sort of a shadowy character, who is an extremely offensive video.
The unrest we've seen has been in reaction to a video.
It was a crude and disgusting video, sparked outrage throughout the Muslim world.
It was a spontaneous, not a premeditated response, a direct result of a heinous and offensive video.
I know there are some who ask, why don't we just ban such a video? And the answer is enshrined in our laws. Our Constitution protects the right to practice free speech.
You know what's amazing is the double standard. You know, Trump probably bungled his words when talking to the widow of the fallen soldier killed in Africa. I could see that. I think he was taken out of context. I don't think he would really mean to hurt the wife of a fallen soldier, knowing that he is very patriotic. No audio was ever, at least I haven't heard any audio from it. Where's the audio? I want proof. And then there's Hillary with the family members on stage standing next to their loved ones. All the coffins there. Andrews Air Force Base. Do you remember that? And she's telling some of the family members, don't worry, we're going to put this guy in jail who made this video, knowing all along that she was telling a great big lie. It was a cover-up. Election year, we got to cover this up. She lied. It was discovered in the email dump that she had contacted the president of Egypt and told him it was a terrorist attack the very next morning, right after the Benghazi attack. She also communicated that with her daughter. And it came out. She didn't want it to come out, but it did. But the drive-by media didn't do anything. They tried to cover it up and move on. But boy, Trump, anything and everything that they can possibly do, because that's what they do 100% of their time now. The Democratic Party, all this money that we're paying them to be up in Washington to represent the people, all the money that we're paying them is just wasted. All they want to do is get rid of Trump. Oh, but how funny it is when you walk around the streets next to these universities, ask these college kids, hey, this is Bernie Sanders' tax plan. How do you like it? Oh, and they just loved it. They just were marveled over it. It was Trump's tax plan. So much hate for Trump. You lost. And you know what? Really, the way the media, the drive-by media, is acting, reporting fake news, it's so obvious. And the way a lot of these Democrats are acting up in Washington that are in power and the things that they are saying, you're not helping your party at all. As I said before, you need to get rid of these old hacks, the establishment Democrats, and the Republicans need to get rid of the Republican established old hacks. Start all over again. Get some fresh ideas and get rid of these people that should have retired years and years and years ago. I mean, some of these people are in their 70s. How old is Bernie Sanders? And he's up there bloviating about Trump's tax plan. Well, let's do something. Let's try something. I mean, just reducing the corporate tax rate from 35% down to 20% is something. Maybe some rich people are going to benefit. So what? Let everybody benefit. We don't even know what the bill is going to look like. Bernie has not seen the final draft of this tax plan. But it doesn't matter what it says. It doesn't matter how good it is for America or the middle class or the rich for that matter. Nothing matters when it comes to Trump. It's all bad. Not one piece of legislation that's been drafted by Trump has been approved by any Democrat. Not one. Nothing. No. If there was a way to wave a magic wand to get rid of all the global warming, to get rid of all the chronic diseases cancer, heart disease, mental illness, you name it. And you could put that in a piece of legislation crafted by Donald Trump. Every Democrat would vote no. 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 By the way, I'm just curious. I've been following the story. Is the drive-by media, are they talking about how ISIS is on the run and all these mass graves are being dug and these guys are being thrown in there and just covered up with dirt? Is anybody talking about that, I wonder? No, let's talk about something that was taken out of context to a widow whose husband died in Africa. Let's talk about that. Let's make her pain a little bit more hurtful, just to make Donald Trump look bad. Let's do that. Let's hurt this woman just to do that. It's just anything. It doesn't matter. Anything to make Donald Trump look bad. That's what they're doing. That's what they're getting paid for. I bet they cash their checks every 2 weeks, too. I bet they got automatic deposits, and I bet they have no problem sleeping at night because they're not doing anything for us, okay? All they want is to keep power, and Donald Trump is a threat. That's the bottom line. And I do thank God. Every time I get on my knees and pray, I thank God that she lost. She's the corrupt one. She has been corrupt all her adult life. If you want to know what it is about Bill and Hillary, it's all about one thing: money. Plain and simple. It's not about you minorities. She doesn't care about you. So you have all these white Democrats that's been up there forever and ever, and they're running the show. Primarily, the way it looks now, the makeup of the Democratic Party is primarily minorities. So let me get this straight. All the blacks, all the Hispanics, all the minorities, the gays, whatever, they're all following these white people up there in Washington, D.C., who are getting filthy rich on the backs of you. Do you think for 1 second they care about you? I mean, really? Because if you do, I feel very, very sorry for you. And it comes down to what he said during his campaign. He wants to drain the swamp that all of these politicians, these established politicians, have been whining and dining in and having a great time with their power and their money. And that just scares the bejesus out of them. To lose their position and their authority and their power and their money and their lobbyist friends and their way of life, their quality of life that they have that you will never have, and off the taxpayer's back. And it all starts at the local level. It's happening here as well. Do you want to look at this little shiny thing over here? Never focusing on the real issues. Let's not talk about things that are really important, the future for our children and grandchildren. Let's talk about bullshit. The hate, the division is only going to escalate. If this continues, it will be a very nasty situation. I'm talking civil unrest, more of it, a lot more of it. Well, Jay, what the hell do you want us to do? I mean, what can we do? We're just little peon citizens, trying to keep a roof over our heads, trying to feed our kids. What do you want us to do? Jesus. Get on the internet, get on a blog, get involved somewhere. And I can tell you, once you get into the issues that are important to you and your family, you won't have a problem getting it out. As a matter of fact, it'll feel good that you're a part of the world. Get mad at your congressman. Get mad at your state senator. Get mad at your representative. Get involved, ladies and gentlemen. Be a part of a community watchdog organization. Start your own. You know, they can be a lot of fun. You meet a lot of new people, you make a lot of new friends, and somehow or another become very powerful, your voice. Be surprised. You know what makes me absolutely sick to my stomach is when I see people that are commenting on politicians' Facebook posts, and all they can do is just, oh, you're doing so wonderful, you're doing such a great job, we love you so much. I'm going like, what? Do these people even know what they're saying? And you compliment them on what a wonderful job. Nobody out there in the political world, ladies and gentlemen, is doing a wonderful job, okay? Do you see them having town hall meetings, inviting you out and saying, okay, we're going to have a town hall meeting, bring your kids, we're going to have refreshments and this and that and the other, and you're just going to be able to get it out? A town hall meeting? That is the very last thing that they want, is to have to answer your questions. Oh, I drafted a piece of legislation along with the so-and-so, and we're going to, I got it. We're going to have a license plate that says, in God we trust. How about a tax cut? Or let's talk about the high property taxes, the third highest in the state of Texas that we pay here in Webb County. Can we talk about that? What about all these empty buildings? What about downtown, how messed up it is? Can we talk about that? Can we talk about why we need a convention center? Anybody want to talk about that? Give us some good reasons. Talk us into why we need these things. Can we talk about Mercy Hospital? What are we going to do about Mercy Hospital? What are we going to do about that old Rio Grande Plaza Hotel that's sticking up there like a sore thumb? What are we going to do about the smelly streets in downtown Laredo? What are we going to do about those? No, let's not talk about that. We spent $450,000 for an old house off the beaten pathway, and it's going to cost an estimated $1.5 million to fix it up so that we can make a coffee shop out of it and have a nice little garden on the outside. Let's talk about stuff like that. Let's just spend money on that. Let's spend money on archways coming in on Zapata Highway into Laredo, saying, welcome to Laredo. Welcome for what in Laredo? There's nothing to do here. What about our empty arena? What about our empty baseball park? What about this? What about that? What about this? I hear about growth. You want to know about growth in Laredo? Really? Growth? You go down McPherson, you look at all the signs everywhere. It's apartment for lease, condo for lease, tons of office buildings for lease, tons of retail office space for lease. What happened to the oil-filled glory days? Open your eyes. Then we have NAFTA, the negotiations in Mexico City going on right now. Nobody's talking about that. Now, what we're talking about is some city councilman who cheated to get to be a city councilman. He was found guilty for doing that, for cheating, basically. And what does he get? The other city councilmen, they just, four of them, they just turned their heads and said, nah, it's okay. He can stay. He really didn't do anything wrong. Now we want to build a $125 million jail. That's just the beginning price. What's it going to end? What's the final price tag going to be? Can we debate that? What about this jail? Tell me the benefits. Tell me the real cost. But don't tell me vote for it because it'll reduce crime. I don't want to. That's nonsense. What a line. Vote for the county jail to reduce crime. Do your part and vote for this $125 million monstrosity because it's going to reduce crime if you do that. And if you don't do that, shame on you. Oh, calm down, Jay. You know, then they have this road fee, $3 a month on top of your property taxes, $36 a year, and then the businesses pay 10 times more than that, and then they have the old ladies and the cripples that have to. They have to pay $350 now from $175 to get on the friggin' bus. But we have enough money to, go from $20,000 to $60,000 when it comes to a pay raise for our city council people. And it's like in your face. They don't even try to hide it. They laugh at us. All right, I'm going to take a short break, ladies and gentlemen. I will be right back.
The LCGG is a community watchdog organization. It's your platform. It's your platform. Get involved. Go to stjohnradio.com.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council.
Welcome, sir.
Brothers. A couple of weeks ago, I think it's in late September, you guys voted to increase the lift program for the Metro for the disabled and elderly. I think it's a very wrong decision. I think that there's a lot of people like me that lives in Social Security are making make it a day-by-day struggles. I don't think it's right because there's a lot of elderly people that don't have cars. They depend on the transportation. There's disabled people, like disabled veterans, disabled regular people that have to go to dialysis, have to go to doctor's appointments, and that's the only transportation they have. Now, take consideration, City Council, Mayor, do what's right. Do what's right. Have consideration on these people. How would you like it if you would be in that position? How would you like that? You were in that position. They were making it day by day, getting a check every month, and have to pay bills, have to pay food, have to pay, clothing, and then you have to pay transportation, go up to 175 to 350. I don't think it's right. So do the right thing. If you already went into that, change it. Thank you. Have a nice evening. God bless you.
This idea, this project, which is a public work project that will sort of been designed and created in conjunction with Councilman Perez. Basically, the project is titled Gateway. And what is a gateway? A gateway in the old days was an entrance into a city. One of the things that an arch like this can do is that it can create tourism. It can be iconic. It's a place where people go to take photos, to identify a city by this image. Landmarks can be something that generates tourism, that generates interest in a location or city. And then when you look at it, you can say to yourself, okay, I know where that is. That's in West Texas. That's right outside of Marfa. So this is a small scale of what the local artist Poncho Santos is proposing as the archway for the city of Laredo, one of the gateways to the city of Laredo. And now, let me tell you where it is. You know, when you're coming in from South Laredo on Zapata Highway, and then it curves. Okay, right there is the flea market, the yellow building flea market. Okay, there is a space there of land that, as Councilman Perez has said, the TxDOT has agreed to allow something to be built there, some design to be built there. So this is what Poncho Santos, who is, again, the teacher at the VMT school, was his concept, and it's my casa is your casa. Now what this does is this uses strategies or ideas of contemporary art, and what makes it different from the other gateways in other cities is that it uses language, it uses words. And so what he does is he wants to play on the concept of the bilingual border reality, where we speak in English, we speak in Spanish, sometimes in the same sentence. And so my casa is your casa is a representation of that point. But the other point of this, and this is what I think is really important and why I think it's an interest for the City Council, is that when you travel to other cities and you meet other people, or people from other cities come to Laredo, one of the things that they always say about the people of Laredo is that we're very welcoming, that we're very giving, that we're very kind. And so this gateway is a symbol of that generosity that we as Laredoans have and show.
Do we have an idea of how big it's going to be? I know we had mentioned it was going to be 25 feet, but then, you know, a bunch of issues came up as to how deep the footings we need to be. We need to hire an engineer or an architect or whatever.
But then the third part is, well, how do you actually make this happen? And so obviously we would have to hire an engineer who's going to be able to measure what kind of materials to be used, how deep it has to go into the ground so that it's stable, and all of those issues. So we're not at that phase yet, but that would be a phase to come. One thing that I want to point out is that the design as it is envisioned right now, it's going to be made with steel, and the welding department at Martin High School, who they just did this amazing M. I don't know if you've been down to Martin High School. There's this huge letter M that they have up there. I think it's 14 feet. They have agreed to collaborate with the city to weld it and to help contain some of the cost of the design of developing it.
Do we have a ballpark figure as to what we're going to spend on this?
I think that you had mentioned something about $50,000 was...
I think we can do it cheaper than that.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think that's a good price tag. If you ask me for something this grand, I think it's definitely worth investing in. Some other people might think differently, but anyway, I think it's a good investment, and again, my constituents want to see something like this, so that's who I represent, and that's what we're going to do.
Really? Your constituents want to see this project, really? Do you have a petition or something that I could look at? Or don't tell me you walked around the neighborhood asking everybody, hey, how about an arch on Zapata Highway? It's only going to cost $50,000. Hell, I just spent $450 on a house. City of Laredo now in the real estate business, yeah. And then after that, we got to remodel it. Well, that might cost around. Estimates are around $1 to $1.5 million. Okay, so you already spent $450,000 plus another, say, $1 million. Well, all right, let's say $2 million total. That's on the light side. So what are you going to do with the house, Alex? Well, we're going to make a coffee shop out of it. Yeah, what a great idea. It's on Chihuahua Street, right? Off the beaten path, nowhere near downtown or no, yeah, it's off of Chihuahua Street. So what happened to the owners? Well, they didn't want it anymore. That's why we bought it. Sucker. But my constituents wanted me to do it. Really? I think your constituents want you to fix the roads and the plumbing underground and the sewers and get the runoffs to work correctly when it rains hard. That's what I think your constituents want you to do. I don't think they want you to get into the real estate. I don't think the city taxpayers want you to get into the real estate business. It's just a crazy idea, really. So why don't you start talking about things that are important, if you don't mind? And God, I could just go on and on and on. I don't want to bloviate about all these different problems, but I could talk about El Portal. I could talk in downtown. I could spend days on downtown. As I was there weekend before last, and it's in worse shape than when I left 2.5 years ago. And it's very sad for me to drive downtown. And I can remember once upon a time how bustling it was and people shopping and having a good time. And now it's just so deteriorated that... And it does look like a third world country down there. I'm sorry to say it, but it does. Let's talk about downtown before we talk about building or spending millions of dollars of money that we don't even have that would have to be put on a credit card for a convention center. Where are our priorities for the future generations? So what are we going to leave our kids and our grandchildren? Here locally, just a big, massive amount of debts and despair? You want to listen to some little kids, what they think about it?
This is a message for political candidates.
Don't tell us just to get people to vote for you that you care about Laredo's water, our environment, our infrastructure, and our safety, if you don't mean it.
Don't tell us just to get elected that you will bring quality of life to Laredo. Don't tell us that if you don't mean it. So please think it over.
Elect people who will take care of Laredo. If you don't, most of us will leave. So please think it over. For me, for all of us.
Most of them are already leaving. I recorded that, 6 or 7 years ago. These kids that recorded that are now college students, probably, I would think. They're 17, 18 years old now. And I'm thinking about when they came, the day they came into my studio and they recorded that, I said, wow. I didn't give them a script or anything else. I just told them the day before to bring me something. Because when you have 9 and 10 and 11-year-olds that are concerned about the future of their community and they write stuff like that, that's kind of wakes you up, doesn't it? Woke me up. Now, these kids are 17, 18 years old. I'd love to have them come back in and see how they're doing. But they've left. Like a lot of kids here. They leave. What's here? What is here for them to do or where to work? Where are they going to work? If you don't have a badge, if you're not in some kind of law enforcement, where are you going to work? Going to work for the city? Going to work for Webb County? You're going to work in the trucking industry at a warehouse somewhere? Or in an office answering the phones? Where are there any really good jobs here other than government jobs? What happens if NAFTA folds up? I don't think it's ever going to fold up, but I will tell you one thing. I think it's going to slow down a lot. Now that they have that new port on the west coast of Mexico there. So I'm just sitting here. I don't think the timing couldn't be better for me. Coming back to Laredo and saying, I buried my mom, I buried my dad. So now I'm going to bring my brother down here, and hopefully I can help him get over his bad habit of drinking alcohol, which we talked about the other day. And by the way, some of the comments that I got from that saying, you know what, Jay, you're really mean to your brother. Well, you know what? I've been putting up with him, and I've tried the nice love, okay, but I've been putting up with him for, 10 years now, ever since I discovered he had this problem. So now it's not, I understand and pat you on the back and I love you and that kind of rhetoric. It doesn't work. And it is rhetoric, because it's very annoying having somebody like that to take care of. So I do the tough love thing now. And it's working, by the way. And he knows that I love him. But I'm not going to, like the song goes, he ain't heavy, he's my brother. And I will stand up for my brother, and I will do as much as I can to help my brother, and I don't give up. Ever. Just like I don't give up on this great town, Laredo, Texas. You know why I love this place? It's because it's so community-oriented. It's so family-oriented. But when it comes to politics, everybody is scared to death. That's why I say join a watchdog group. There's several really good ones in Laredo. You can join this one if you don't like this one, because you don't, for whatever reason, you don't like me. Join another one. There's a lot of them that aren't as loud as I am. As a matter of fact, I want to read you a letter from one of the watchdog groups here locally. Well, I think it's just great. It's from Our Laredo. You can see their page on Facebook. It's called Our Laredo, and it's a watchdog group. And they wrote a letter, and it was forwarded to me. And I thought, well, I would really like to read this letter on my show. So let me read it to you. It's an open letter to Councilwoman Nellie Vilma. Dear Miss Nellie Vilma, we understand that for your own personal reasons, you were not present during the deliberations of Vidal Rodriguez and his moral turpitude issue. However, this issue is going to come up again. You are an attorney. You are also an elected city councilwoman. More as an attorney, you should fully understand what a verdict of guilty means. Don't forget, you yourself were a public prosecutor in another life. As an attorney, we also know how they can take either side and make a convenient, compelling argument. So, Ms. Vilma, where do you stand? Are you going to find a slick answer and argue your way out and side with Vidal Rodriguez? Or are you going to support the call for his resignation? Whatever you do will define you. What message are you going to send to your children and the next generation? Should leaders be held to a higher standard? This is your chance, and we're all watching. And then it says here, share if you like our Laredo. Please go to that website and like that web page, Our Laredo. And that was an open letter to Nellie Velma, of the city council. Nicely done. But see, those are the kind of things that you got to keep. These politicians, you turn your head and they think you're not paying attention. They don't think there's any transparency demands, or they're thinking, well, I don't have to be accountable because nobody's watching. But there are people watching, like the great watchdog group, Our Laredo, and Laredo Citizens for Good Government, and there are various other ones as well. So I encourage you to, whichever one you want to join one. And if you don't like any of them, kind of like maybe start your own. The more the merrier, I say. All right, we've got about 10 minutes away from the top of the hour. This is Jay St. John, and you're listening to the Laredo Citizens for Good Government. We'll take a short break.
Before you come from my piano. and they're waiting to go. We gotta drive all night and do the show in Chicago or Detroit. I don't know. We do so many shows in a row, and these towns all look the same. We just pass the time in the hotel rooms and wander around backstage till those lights come up and we hear that crowd and we remember why we came.
South Texas Radio Network. Welcome back. Jay St. John here, taking a little break. And it is a couple of minutes away from the top of the hour. Good morning, Brother James. How are you? You just walked in, by the way.
Very good, sir. Thank you for asking.
So what's on your mind?
Well, we have some volleyball action tonight.
Volleyball action. I talked a little bit about volleyball. My producer said, you better just shut up about that. I said, I love high school volleyball, women's young ladies volleyball, and I got blasted for being accused of watching high school girls playing volleyball. And I go, well, my daughter played volleyball.
Like you're some kind of masher or something?
I'm some kind of pedophile or something. I don't know. I don't even go to the games. I'm just talking about how nobody talks about women's sports around here. Young ladies, they're look at the track and team that some of these high schools have. And the women are going to the state finals. Nobody ever talks about that. These girls over here with the volleyball, they're going to what?
Well, they're playing playoff tonight.
Yes,
Alexander and United.
You. I would go, but I'm not.
Well, it's right down the street, right?
Yeah, that would be great for you to go to.
I think I will.
Yeah,
just for grins.
Alexander and who?
United.
And United.
They are the top two seeded teams, and the winner, of course, will be the number one seed in the playoffs coming up. And the other three teams that they're round out to top five are Del Rio, United South, and South San Antonio.
Wow.
So
we're going to root for the.
I don't know who to root for.
No, I'm not rooting for either one.
Well,
but
we can't root for anybody, really.
I'm rooting for the one that makes it to the state championship.
Yes.
Yeah, that's one I'm rooting for.
We can't root for one team that's on one side of the street.
Right.
No.
That's right. We have to be
fair,
unbiased. There you go. So my brother tells me, well, I was looking. He's trying to figure out how this whole business works when it comes to doing your show prep, and you have to have your sources where the ones that you like to go to read about this or read about that. I'm more conservative, so I don't really pay that much attention to liberal blogs or anything like that, even though I do read them. And I do watch, on some of the cable news networks. I do watch MSNBC. I do watch CNN. Just to keep abreast of what they're saying. And
sure.
Yeah, I want to be fair and balanced. I had that before Fox ever did. Jay St. John, fair and balanced.
They have the trademark.
Are you laughing?
They have the trademark.
Well, I don't have the money to have trademarks on every kind of phrase that I might come out of my mouth that I think is clever and catchy. So they have the phrase to that, fair and balanced?
That's a trademark, sure.
That's a trademark?
Mm-hmm.
I can't say that.
Well, you can, but you could get.
Oh, they're going to come after me?
Oh yeah, they got lawyers.
Oh, they're going to come after
ask
me,
Bill
right?
O'Reilly.
Okay, they're going to. They're going to.
lawyers.
Now ask the girls about O'Reilly.
Yeah, I heard about a $32 million total payoff.
$32 million
by Bill,
just because he's horny all the time and he's harassing women, or what?
I don't know. Maybe he was groping, or was it about the shower phone sex?
I don't know. No. That was Weinstein that did that.
Well, the shower sex.
The shower sex, yeah.
Well, no, remember Bill was talking about.
Maybe everybody likes that. I don't know.
Remember, Bill was talking about describing what he wanted to do to this particular lady in the shower.
Well, I didn't ever see that.
And
is that available for me to look at?
It might be in some O'Reilly archive.
Yeah. So he was now. What was he doing?
He was phone sexing a lady who was in the shower.
Yeah.
And he said he wanted to, stroke her body with a falafel.
With a falafel,
which is funny.
What is a falafel?
A falafel is a Mediterranean sandwich. He meant loofah. Those sponge loofahs that exfoliate your skin?
Yeah.
That's what he meant.
Uh-huh.
But he said falafel instead of loofah.
How much money? $30-something million?
Well, the original payoff, the one that...
Why do people talk to women like that? I tried phone sex one time. I fell asleep.
Well, now they have Skype, and you have no hands. So
you got... How would you know that?
I mean, you can get Skype.
I was talking to Dr. Williams last night. We went to San Antonio and had a very interesting conversation with a wellness doctor who, at my particular age, loves wellness. I love these people. And you know what? If you follow their advice, they can really make your life a lot nicer. a lot more pleasant. When you start getting the aches and pains around 50, 55 years old, you got to slow down, get your mouth off the bottle and get your mouth off the cigarettes and all this other stuff, and start living a nice, clean life and being a productive citizen.
Eating correctly.
Eating correctly. Well, anyway, we had this coffee last night that was not like Columbia bean coffee. What kind of coffee was this? Was it some Chinese?
It was organic. I forget the
yeah, but anyway, one cup of that and your energy level just goes through the roof.
I had one before I came in.
We drove back from San Antonio. My brother was driving the truck, and we went down there to get to get a car that was over in Ancira Winton for repair. So I drove the car back, and you drove the truck back, and we were all like
buzzing at 12:30 at night.
We got home at like 1:30 in the morning, and here we are on the radio this morning. But that stuff was really good. And one of the things I want to do, I didn't interrupt what you were trying to say about it. Okay, but one of the things I wanted to do on our new website that's being looked at right now, and it's going to be revamped, is we want to put a store on there. Ladies and gentlemen, do you realize that this program will be streaming? There's, I think, a total of 19 platforms in the country, all different platforms. Like right now we're streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, Twitter, but there's like another 15 out there that we're going to get on as soon as we get the software capabilities. In other words, as soon as we spend the money, we're going to get on all those platforms, and I think the show is going to be a tremendous success. I really do. But one of the things I want to do on the website is I want to put a store on there.
A holistic store.
Exactly. And I have my Chinese connections.
Dr. Lee.
Dr. Lee was at the meeting last night. She's probably listening this morning.
And thank you for dinner, Dr. Lee, if you are.
Thank you for dinner. We should have paid for that dinner, by the way. I was talking to the other doctor, and I
it was your
not
birthday
paying
dinner.
Oh, well, you know.
Early. Your preemptive birthday dinner.
When is my birthday anyway?
I believe it's Halloween.
I don't even know what day it falls on.
31st.
Does it fall on a Monday or Tuesday? Or
I'd have to look at a calendar.
This is the worst birthday. I mean, you know, nobody wants to turn.
It would be 7 days from today.
When you turn 65,
next Tuesday.
It's like when you turn 65 and you turn on the TV, it's like they're advertising for you.
Sure.
Medicare supplement plans. That's what I have to look forward to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And virtually every little gadget that they have, like a cane or this or something for your neck, is all Medicare eligible.
Yeah.
So that they can bang our government full retail price. For something.
It's not.
There's a variety of things.
You know. Getting old is not fun. But, you know, you got to make the best out of it. And that's what I'm trying to do. So we're going to run this program and hopefully not into the ground. And I'm just real happy and thrilled to be back in Laredo and happy to be doing something else other than terrestrial radio that drops off at the county line. We are worldwide, ladies and gentlemen, and we have spared no expense for the equipment. For the quality of the signal is excellent. I can see that the producer is listening, and he's saying nice things about the audio this morning.
Hello, Aaron. How are you?
Hello, Aaron. Aaron is our whiz kid out there. I call him a whiz kid.
Well, he's more of a sorcerer.
Yeah. So anyway, last night we had a very interesting conversation with
Dr. Williams.
Dr. Williams, who is I was very impressed with him.
Mm-hmm. Went to Harvard.
He is went to Harvard. He is a wellness doctor, and he had a presentation last night that I wanted to see about some of these coffees that he says are like, they're organic and they're so much better for you than this junk that you buy out of a can in H-E-B. And I said, well, it probably doesn't have a kick to it. So I had 2 cups of coffee while I was in that presentation. And I was like, I haven't been zzz, and I can't tell you how long.
Since the 1980s.
But I was ready when I got home last night at like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. I was ready to come to the station and start. I would get it on at 3. You know. I thought, well, I better rest.
Yeah. Well, honest to gosh, people, I had very little to eat yesterday, and we go to this thing. I have 1 cup of this stuff, and pretty much killed my appetite. I had to bring a big doggy bag home of jambalaya from BJ's.
BJ's, a restaurant called BJ's.
It's called BJ's.
Is that called it?
Yeah, BJ's Restaurant and Brew House.
Need a BJ? Go to BJ's.
You can get BJ'd.
Get something to eat and something to drink at BJ's in San Antonio.
3 locations
to
serve you.
We have 8 minutes after 8 o'clock. So we'll put that store together, and we have our Chinese connection, and we'll start, and we're going to really scrutinize every product. We want every product to be the best product, and we're going to sell it in our store, on our website, which will help support the radio program and anything else that we might want to do. So we ask for sponsorships and memberships, put a store together, and maybe we can make some money. I mean, Jesus. I haven't made money in this business, and I can't tell you how long. So that's what I would like to do. I mean, I'm figuring we not only serve the community, South Texas, but even further and beyond that, because now we're worldwide. We're not just limited to Webb County any longer.
We're beyond the county line.
We're beyond the county line. We have somebody listening to this morning from Wisconsin and somebody listening from Oregon. Why would you be listening from Oregon? Oregon would be like 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yes, that's true.
I know a few people from Oregon. I don't know if it's one of my friends. Maybe. So what else do you have as far as sports, my friend?
Well, last night,
my brother.
The Spurs held the Toronto Raptors.
Oh, big deal.
To 97 points. They normally average around 121, but we beat them 109 to 97.
Yay!
To remain undefeated and tied for first. Hey, come on, that's good.
Well.
And tonight, of course, is the World Series.
Okay, that's what I want to see. Go Astros.
Go Astros. Tonight, it's Kershaw for the Astros
versus...
Kershaw.
Yeah.
Versus Crenshaw. Yeah. Kershaw.
I only watch baseball World Series when that's it. I don't watch any other time. But the World Series is exciting.
Yeah, this is the I-10 series.
Yeah, but anything else, leading up to the World Series, I can't watch it.
You want to, if you're a Houstonian, want to see the series, just get on I-10 and keep going west.
Keep going west, like I did a long, long time ago. I said, what do I want to do with the rest of my life? I want to
go west.
After I got fired from Halliburton in Houston because the oil field business went bust in 1983, I said, let's go to California. California is a place you ought to be, so I loaded up the Gremlin. Was I driving that Gremlin?
I don't know.
Do you know that I had a Gremlin? I don't like to admit that publicly.
Well, didn't you also have an AMC Pacer?
I sure did. I had some really lousy.
When I saw that,
they weren't new either. They were everything I ever owned when I was younger was used, and the hood was up more than it was on the road.
When I was a kid, I remember seeing that Pacer, and I thought it was a cool-looking car because the back windshield that was curved over.
Oh, yeah.
That was kind of a groovy design.
Yeah, groovy.
For a 12-year-old.
Groovy. Back in the good old days.
Oh, yeah.
Standing out in the street in 1969 on Rue Francois in Leon Valley, a man just landed on the moon, and I'm standing out in the middle of the street looking up in the sky.
Trying to find him?
Trying to find where the moon is. My mother's looking at me like, God, look, what happened to him?
Well, it was time to howl at the moon.
What happened to him? All right, we've got about 12 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to the Laredo Citizens for Good Government. Please like us on our Facebook page and download our apps. We have an Apple app now since last weekend. That's a good-looking app, and we also have one on the Android. We also have our website, which is stjohnradio.com, which has a nice player on it. And, of course, you can listen to this program any time of the day. We don't take them down ever.
Right.
So we'll just start recording them. And then let me tell you what the agenda that we have. The rest of this month, well, we only got a couple more days, but November, the 1st of November, we are going on a little vacation. And then probably for about 10 days, but we're not going to officially open Laredo Citizens for Good Government, or South Texas Radio Network, I should say, until December the 1st. We have not been taking any sponsorships or any money from anybody. We built a studio, and that's up and running. And I'm trying to get back in the groove after 2.5 years of not being behind a microphone. As if I've lost half my mind, you know. They say after you have heart surgery, you could lose your memory.
So they take some of that with you.
Yeah, some of the stuff that the good doctor is going to be giving me, he doesn't know it yet, but it's going to. We have stuff to help your memory, and I'm telling you, this guy is so amazing, so impressive to listen to, and he's got so many credentials, and I'm going to look forward to working with this guy.
He's got more frames on the wall.
Oh man, he's amazing.
He's running out of wall.
His delivery and his just general demeanor and the way he talks to you is just incredible.
Very nice guy. I was impressed.
So, so we're going to try to work together with him. We're going to set a little studio up for him and Skype him on the show, as well as Dr. Lee.
Who is a gas.
Dr. Lee. You're going to really like Dr. Lee because she's going to do her own show on this network, and it's going to be an hour long every week. And you will not be able to, let me put it to you this way. Either you're going to turn the radio off real fast.
Or you'll be mesmerized.
And then she has to kind of like grow on you. Mm-hmm. But once she gets under your skin, you can't get her out. I just love her to death.
Right.
I've known her for a long time, and we've had some fun times together. But sometimes you want to just like stab yourself because she loves to talk.
Which is a good thing if you want to be on the radio, right?
Yes, absolutely. And she loves, the thing about her is she's real. She loves people. She loves to talk, and she worries about everybody. And she's I think a lot of the thing that's going on in her mind, her brain is so active. Right. So we're trying to figure out how to slow it down. I suggested Quaaludes, but I mean, can we do it naturally?
I'm sure there's a method Dr. Williams might be able to come up with.
Does she ever sleep, I wonder?
I don't know. She seems to be a light sleeper.
And she's so cute, you know?
And you wouldn't believe she's
she's almost like she's like 55. She's about your age.
Oh,
and
sorry, Doc.
But she looks well, you know, she might be closer to 60. I haven't maybe. I lose track. I lose track, but she is she's an amazing woman.
Hell, you lose track of your age. How can I expect you to know?
I do that on purpose.
Oh, okay.
Believe me, I know exactly how old I am, almost by the day, almost to the day, and it ain't funny.
Well, next Tuesday's your birthday.
Yeah, and I qualify for Medicare,
mm-hmm.
and AARP is sending me a lot of stuff.
Yes,
and it's over. It's just, I mean, it's not over. It's just a new chapter in my life. But the fun times, the party times, and the
it's a downward slide. But it's up to you to find out how greasy that slide is.
Exactly. So I guess that's a good way to put it. Speaking of greasy, I just got some new hemorrhoid medicine. Don't stop it.
I didn't say anything about your preparation.
Stop it. I'm just kidding. All right, it is 17 minutes after, or is he?
Well, when he talks about show prep, you know what he's talking about, right?
What do you mean?
Your ointment, your show prep.
That's not
preparation.
Oh God, you're not funny at all. You know.
I wish you had.
You know what?
You brought it up.
You know what? That's something my mama gave me. God bless her.
Well, I hope she didn't give it to me.
Well, no, you're about right at the age there. You know, you could possibly get some hemorrhoids if you keep sitting on your ass. A lot of it's lifestyle. You know, for most of my life.
And what's your excuse?
Well, I've been sitting down all my life, but I've been working. I haven't been sitting down sleeping.
Oh, your ass knows the difference whether you're working or
That's
watching
right.
TV.
Exactly.
Okay.
It does.
I didn't realize that.
No, that's not the point. The point is you're sitting down. It doesn't matter if you're sleeping or you're thinking.
Well, don't you do your best thinking in that room?
What room?
Where you sit.
I've been visiting that room a lot lately. That's kind of gross, don't you think?
Well, you want to get honest with your audience, too.
Don't you think that's a little personal, you know?
You want them to get to know you.
Well, I've been rebuilt, I can tell you that, from top to bottom. I've got all new hips.
He's almost bionic.
Yeah, I got all new hips. I got a new heart. Got new eyeballs, new ears, new teeth, you name it.
Your nasals?
I got to get a Roto-Rooter.
You got to get re-rotored.
Yeah, I had a Roto-Rooter back in 1991.
Mm-hmm.
But now that's not so invasive as it used to be. Now they just go up there very gently and remove the polyps. And
virtually everything is not as invasive. I mean,
yeah, that's true.
Everything from colostomies.
You know, even a triple bypass surgery is so procedural and so routine.
Yeah, they could almost do it with their eyes closed.
Yeah. Well, don't find a doctor like that.
But
would you?
It is rather routine.
Yeah, it's very routine.
But anytime to cut you
But
off,
there are
it's
people,
serious.
you know, that when I had mine done, there were two people that I had mine done at the VA.
Mm-hmm.
And there are people that don't make it through the operation.
Well, some people weren't as lucky as you. They might have had the full blown.
No, God has a plan for me.
Yeah.
See, He says, I don't want you to die. I want you to go back to Laredo, Texas. And I want you to be the best watchdog group that you can possibly be. I want you to stay on their ass 24/7. That is your purpose in life, is to make sure and take care of the future generations.
Yeah, the Lord said, go forth and watch.
Go forth and watch. I'm like the disciple Peter. I'm the guy that carries the sword. I'm the guy that will chop your left ear off just for shits and giggles.
No. Any significance with the left ear?
Or was it the right ear?
I don't know.
I don't remember. I'm
I don't
not
know.
that biblical.
I didn't know anybody.
I don't think anybody really knows anyway which year it was. All right, we've got 21 minutes after 8 o'clock. Are you done with sports, my friend?
That's pretty much all I got,
except
for...
you're too late. You were starting to ramble there a little bit, brother. I mean, kicking my ass. That ain't cool.
City girls just seem to find out early how to open doors with just a smile. A rich old man, and she won't have to worry. She'll dress up all in lace, go in style. Late at night, a big old house gets lonely. I guess every form of refuge has its price, and it breaks her heart to think her love is only given to a man with hands as cold as ice. So she tells him she must go out for the evening to comfort an old friend who's feeling down. But he knows where she's going and she's leaving. She is headed for the cheating side of town. You can't hide your lying eyes. herself a strong one and stares out at the stars up in the sky. Another night, it's gonna be a long one. She draws a shade and hangs her head to cry. She wonders how it ever got this crazy. She thinks about a boy she knew in school. Did she get tired or did she just get lazy? She's so far gone, she feels just like a fool. My oh my, you sure know how to arrange things. You set it up so well, so carefully. Ain't it funny how your new life didn't change things? You're still the same old girl you used to be. You can't hide your lying eyes, and your smile is a thin disguise. I thought by now you'd realize there ain't no way to hide your lying eyes.
Oh, does that bring back memories?
There ain't no way to hide your lying eyes.
WVOJ in Jacksonville, Florida.
You can't hide your lying eyes.
Jay St. John on the radio. Hi. 1970, I think that was 1975 or something. What?
Well, I saw them in '76 on election night, and they dedicated that song
To me?
To the presidential candidates.
Oh, who?
Carter and
Oh,
Ford.
Carter.
Carter and
Oh,
Ford.
God, that was a long time ago.
It was election night '76 when I saw them.
This program being brought to you in part by At This Moment Pro. I had to turn the card over. I couldn't remember I'm getting some herbs for that. Memory loss. I'm very serious about this business.
Sure.
I just want to make it available. All these Chinese herbs I've been reading about, and all these home remedies that I've been reading about, and all these doctors, and these pharmaceutical companies are making so much money in their. It's bad medicine.
Yeah, they're pushing pills.
It's bad medicine. I mean, these opioids.
Pills for this, pills for that.
Yeah.
Pills for pills.
You can't get a boner, get an ice cream stick, like I do. And some tie wraps. Anyway. Oh, you're real funny. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm just telling you. At This Moment Pro Incorporated, if you have any kind of event coming up that you want to document, possibly like a wedding or what do they call those?
Bar mitzvah?
Yeah, here in Laredo they have a lot of those.
Quinceañera.
Yeah, there you go.
It's for the 15-year-old girls.
Yeah, it's a tradition.
Yes.
It's a cultural tradition, right? Where you're 15
exactly.
years old, are you going from 15 to 16, right?
Something like that.
And basically everybody gets together and has a party for you and tells you, "Hey, you're a woman now."
And the Hispanic community really needs an excuse to party, right?
Yeah, is that just an excuse to party or what? My 16-year-old daughter is now a woman. What are you telling these children when you do that?
What are you telling the boys?
I know. Well, she's ready now. That's no different than when I was.
Anyway, continue with your
15 or 16. Well, photography, commercials, corporate events. They'll be more than happy to go out there and put whatever kind of production that you want together. They even do legal, like if you have a disposition that you want to film for the courts.
Right. If you can't attend a court,
that's
for
right.
instance, you can.
And they also broadcast everything live. They have a studio. They do remotes. They do 3D rendering, whatever that is. Weddings, whatever you want. Whatever you want. And the guy's really good. He's our producer, and he's also our webmaster here on South Texas Radio Network. And so far, so good. I got no problems with Aaron. And his phone number is 949-9500. 949-9500.
For top-notch video assistance.
Yeah. And when you talk to Aaron, just make sure that you're clear as to what you want. Because he's so creative, he might think of something else you might not want.
Or suggest something that you
and
might
then he might suggest something that you didn't know you wanted.
Exactly.
I'm just gonna. I just love to pick on everybody that comes my way. We were at Ancira Winton Chevrolet yesterday to pick up the Chrysler, and they always do a wonderful job over at Ancira. Ernesto has been part of my family for a long time. I say part of my family, but an acquaintance of my family, let's just say. And they did once again, they did a wonderful job, but of course they charged
solved
me.
Your problem.
Yeah, they solved my problem. I took James had a little scrape with the Chrysler where this the 18-wheeler that makes a wide right turn, and it says on the back of the truck, "Don't get anywhere near me when I'm making a wide right turn, because if you're on my passenger side when I do that, I'm going to crush your car." And James crushed the driver's side front end of the Chrysler, so we took it to Mike's Paint and Body Shop.
Which was recommended.
Which was a Geico recommended place to go. They did a wonderful job on the bodywork. But as far as the suspension that it destroyed on that particular side of the car, they forgot to put a new bearing on, which caused the car to vibrate over 65 miles an hour. And nobody could figure out what was wrong with it after I took the car back to Mike's Paint and Body 4 times. So I said, well, I'm just going to take it over to Ernesto Ancira because he has a state-of-the-art body shop and he can fix it. He's fixed other things for me before in the past, and I was very happy. So I took it back over to him, and they fixed the problem, and it was a bearing. They replaced all the suspension parts on that side of the car except for that one part. So
and
now
made all the difference in the world.
Made all the difference in the world, and I'm happy. But it cost me $900. $900. I had a couple of new tires put on too.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just been a long, drawn-out thing. I'm just glad it's over with, if you want to know the truth about it.
Right. Can I, whenever, I just have a couple more things that are interesting.
Oh, don't. Just go ahead.
Okay. This will cheer you up about Steve Curry.
Curry?
Stephen Curry.
Oh.
In a fit of this mouthpiece.
I like to shove up his ass. If you want to know the truth about it.
He chucked the mouthpiece in anger in the direction of a referee.
Oh, no kidding.
And he was fined
$50,000. Good. But, $50,000 to him is probably nothing.
Well, it goes to charity, so that's good.
Yeah, well, that's good. Well, yeah, how he always chews on that thing and just flips it around his mouth and outside of his mouth. And
it's very gross.
It is very gross, and they should not allow him to do that. So $50,000, but that's a lot of money, though, right? For something like that.
For anybody.
So the Spurs won last night. What else?
Well,
World Series tonight, yeah.
Philadelphia Eagles beat the Washington, our two rivals. And by the way, Dallas plays Washington next week with Ezekiel. He found another way to delay the inevitable for a week.
Is he the girl? He was charged for beating up his girlfriend, or what?
He was never charged with anything.
So how can you suspend him if he was never charged?
It has something to do with conduct rules. I mean, even if you're arrested and not charged, the NFL, and probably the NBA also can take money from you or do something to you, even if you weren't charged by the authorities.
Oh, I see. I think today, I'm not sure, I should know this, but somebody's writing me here. Is it today the first day of early voting? I don't know. But they said they were going to file a commissioner's court meeting. That didn't happen. The commissioner to report health care plans that they have. Listen to this.
Uh-oh.
So, I don't know how people can afford plus kids $628. Now you pay $1,221.46 per month for a health care plan. Insured, neither are the kids, but nonsense. Kids, and you want to plan, which is, I guess they can.
I think there's going to be too many.
His plan is you get if you're an employee, you're not married, but $2 to $3. No children went up from 2.5, now $464.
To pay the increased charge.
Less deductibles. Bioplan, one employee went up from was $150, now it's $235. Bioplan employee and children is now $942, up from $450.
That's almost
double. So I don't know if you don't get sick. That's all. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, just
it's crazy. I mean, I don't know how people can. Well, they can afford it. I mean, Webb County, they don't pay any money to anybody except for the hot dogs. All the hot dogs get the money, just like the city. All the hot dogs get the money there too. That's why I want to be. The only thing I want to be in my life that I have not fulfilled, and I'm serious, is I want to be a assistant city manager.
A no account.
I want to sit on my ass all day and
getting a big fat check.
Big
check.
Big check. $150,000 to $165,000 a year. And I think they got last I counted, they have 4. Somebody told me they had 5 of those people. Oh, they used to have 3, but I just want to be one.
There's one for every pothole.
Yeah, and you need a white guy in there, They're all Hispanic. I mean, what we talk about discrimination, or is there any slots in City Hall for a white guy?
Well, they got to apply first.
I might file a lawsuit. Everybody else is.
You have to apply before they tell you they don't need you.
Yeah, I know, right? I don't know if I could go there every day and actually, walk down the hallways of City Hall and, look at everybody. I'd want to punch about half of them out.
Or at least you'd be in a snappy suit.
A snappy suit. Jay St. John in a snappy. I couldn't go to work in my shorts. Kind of like the municipal.
You can't go to court in your shorts.
Can't go to municipal court in your shorts.
To pay a traffic ticket.
Pay a traffic ticket. You can't have any flab hanging out of your shirt either.
No gum chewing.
No gum chewing. But if you want to work there and you have tattoos all over your neck, that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you look like a gang member, you can work there and they take your money.
MS-13.
The guy was kind of educated. Yeah, a guy was, when I talked to him, he sounded like he was kind of educated, but I'm going like, I felt like saying, whatever possessed you to, were you drunk or?
To ink up your neck like that.
Well, why would you want to do that to your neck? How did you get a job here? I find that offensive. Maybe Rosie finds it offensive that I wear shorts, even though I have the sexiest legs in town.
For chicken.
I'm
legs.
not. I don't have chicken legs anymore. You ain't been
okay.
checking my legs out lately?
No.
I'm up to 194 pounds, man.
It's all right.
Yeah, I used to have. Not anymore. No more chicken legs for me. Let's go.
Okay.
Also, early voting for the jail. Are you going to vote for the jail? Are you going to vote for that $125 million? That's just the starting price. By the time the overruns come in and the
payoffs are made.
Boy, you're catching on, aren't you? The overruns. Yeah, the overruns, the money that left the project and landed in somebody's pocket and in for a favor, maybe
via a manila envelope under a
restaurant
table
in Cancun.
In Cancun,
they don't exchange money here locally. They always go to Mexico to some nice resort and have a lot of fun, probably with the whores and everything, and and that's how they do. That's how they roll.
Oh, well.
Hey, man, I used to hear these stories about these city councilmen. They get caught at Papagayos over there in the Red District in Nuevo Laredo. Yeah. Years ago. I don't know. Of course, they don't go there now. Nobody does, but...
it's too dangerous.
Yeah. Our elected officials. Can you imagine over at Papagayos? Uh-huh. What are you doing here, Jay? Well, I'm reporting. I'm an investigative reporter, and I'm over here at Papagayos checking out who's here and who's not here.
And I have a hidden camera.
That's right. I have a hidden microphone. How's your wife doing, by the way? Papagayos. Those were the days, my friend. We thought they'd never end. We'd sing and dance forever and a day. 8:45, Jay St. John along with James Stephen on this really nice-looking Tuesday, October 24th. Once again, today is another lovely, lovely weather for our great city here in Laredo. Enjoy it. This is the best time of the year.
It's the best time. The weather is beautiful in San Antonio also.
They said goodbye to Odie yesterday, from Farewell to Odie Arambula, who was the editor for the Laredo Morning Times for many years, and he was also a really good writer. I used to enjoy reading his stuff, and he passed away at 82, and they buried him in the Catholic cemetery yesterday, and rest in peace, brother. Another journalist that was, but he had credibility. People liked him because he was credible, and there's not too many of those guys around anymore, as we well know. Of course, I'm here.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But you still have to. You still have a little.
I'm real credible. So I'm looking for anything anybody wants to talk about the jail. I think that should be the hot topic right now, because voting starts today or tomorrow, early voting, and then on the 7th of November is the big day.
Well, something tells me it probably started today because of the deluge of ads we saw over the weekend. Remember that?
Well, the thing about it is, I thought I would see, somebody has pinged me on Facebook saying, I think today is early voting, and here I am on the radio. You'd think I would know that. But, yesterday I took off We went to San Antonio. We had that meeting last night. I didn't get to do any show prep at all yesterday. I wanted to go to the county court meeting, but I couldn't go to that yesterday because I had other things I had to do.
You would have been disappointed.
I'm a one-man show. That's the thing, I'm looking for somebody to come in and help me do a lot of these things, and I would like somebody that wants to be in broadcasting and somebody that's outgoing, somebody that's quick on their feet, somebody that cares about their community, preferably some young person that maybe is going to TAMU, studying communications or whatever, that wants to learn about broadcasting from an old
dog,
vintage fossil. Yeah, from an old experienced dog.
Well, you're calcifying before our eyes.
Yeah, so anyway, if I can get somebody like that to come in and help me on an internship, okay, I don't have any money to pay you, but if you want a career in broadcasting, I don't think there's anybody better to learn it from than me right now here, especially here in Laredo. I mean, who else is there? There's no talent here but me. I'm the only talent here in Laredo. Seriously. Who else is what do you have? You have a bunch of 300-pound disc jockeys running around thinking they're local celebrities.
I don't have anything to say.
And they're playing Kumba and Tejano, and they think they're funny. And they're not funny. So that's what, hey, here I am in a 98%. Can I brag?
You're going to.
In a 98% Hispanic community, I get on the radio. I don't even plan on getting on the radio. I just accidentally stumbled into it. And I used to do it when I was younger, but I wasn't any good at it. That's why I picked another career. But I'm retired now, so I kind of stumbled back into it. But I'm a Anglo in a 98% Hispanic community, and I'm a number one guy for years and years and years. And it's because I have talent. Thank you very much. God, you're so...
Well, I don't have any fake... I don't have any recorded applause for you.
No, you're so brash. And I don't have anybody helping me. It's strictly... My dialogue is mainly just off the cuff, and when I'm on, I'm on, and when I'm off, I'm off. But it's hard to sit here and ad-lib for... my show's going to be 3 hours come December the 1st. Do you know how hard it is to do a monologue for 3 hours? You have to do a lot of show prep, and you have to have a lot of guests on the show. And it would be nice if you had somebody that could help you, like a co-host that could help you move along, that was kind of on the same page as you were on, that kind of has the same ideas that you have, the same wants and desires that you have. But how hard is it to find that?
You have to look real hard.
It's very tough. So,
who's guesting this week?
Guesting what?
Here.
Nobody.
I thought we had somebody.
Well, you thought wrong. See,
okay.
That's a kind of perfect. You are a perfect example of the kind of help that I'm getting.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you guesting? That's what he asked me. You heard him. Who are you guesting?
Well, that's the term.
I never heard that. Guesting. Is that a new term or is that a real word?
That's what they use.
Who are you guesting this week?
For instance, like Jimmy Fallon.
Do you have any guests on this week for the remaining of the week, Mr. St. John? Do we have anybody we could look forward to other than you? Is that what you meant to say?
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Do we have anybody other than you? Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Well, just to take the heat off you for a little while.
So anyway, this jail is going to be the hot subject for next week, which we will have a lot of people in next week talking about the jail. And this is a big issue, ladies and gentlemen. Your property taxes are going to go up. Here's how they like to advertise. Well, don't worry. If your house is only worth $100,000, your property taxes will only go up
$366.
$366 a month. $3.60 a month. Is that what it was?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, what they don't tell you, that's just See,
for a while.
they have increments of how much this is going to cost you. In order to sell the deal, they start out with $366 a month, and so you go into the voting booth thinking, "Oh, it's only going to cost $366 a month. I'll vote for it." But that is a lie. That is the hook. Once they hook you,
They reel you in.
then once they hook you, then about when you open up your mail, your tax bill, in about 3 years, it's going to go like way up. And then you're going to go, "Oh man, they hooked me. They got me again." And then about 3 years later, and you open up your tax bill, you're going to go, "Holy shit. They hooked me real good this time." And by the time they get done with you, that hook's going to be all the way up your butt, coming out of your nostrils, because now you can't afford to live where you live because your property taxes are practically higher than your payment.
Mm-hmm.
Property taxes are the third worst in the state of Texas, right here in Webb County. And why is that?
There's not a whole lot to show for
Because
it.
that's right. Where's the quality of life? Where's all these great parks? Where's the water park? Where's anything? We don't even have Southwest Airlines.
I mean, we have stuff, but no teams to put them there.
And no teams will come here. We built arenas, we built baseball parks, but all these owners of these parks, or rather baseball teams and sports ventures, I should say, they don't want to deal with the people here in Laredo. They don't want to deal with these guys because they're mostly all on the take, I guess.
Well, this word travels fast.
Yeah. So we can't get it. Now we got we do have a Mexican baseball team coming to our, well, we have to get them from Mexico now.
Right. The equivalent of a AAA.
Yeah. And they're good.
Oh, yeah. They are very good. Very high quality stuff.
So, price, and you know how that works out around here. It's probably going to be double that. But we're going to be paying for that for a very, very long time. What's that? A media tag?
Pat tags?
Well, I don't know if you have to, just go up there and. Well, I don't know.
Do we own?
Does you work for Jay St. John and watch how fast they?
Well, yeah, I'm not
kidding. All right, we got to
nice day.
Government. We are South St. John Radio Productions, and we are out of here.